Happy Labor Day. Thank you all so much for coming. We are here at Meet You Anywhere in Trophy Club. Thank you so much for having us. I am your host, Carly Isbell. It is week 2 of the Grapevine Mustang football season, and I'm here with Coach DeBesse. Coach, how was the Breakfast with Champions this past Friday?
Breakfast with Champions was awesome. We had a great start to the day. It was really special for me because our guest speaker was a guy that I actually coached back at TCU in the mid-'80s. A guy named David Rasco was a quarterback for us, and David's been a mainstay over there in Fort Worth and supporting TCU for a long time. He's a member of the FCA board of directors over there at TCU, and just a quality human being. And he had some great words of wisdom for our guys, and they were really attentive and really bought in. I was really appreciative of David spending his time with us.
Well, I bet it was nice seeing him again.
It was.
And I wanted to talk about a tough loss on Friday night. You, on stats, with looking at your stats, on paper, Grapevine was the better team, but the actual results show differently. What would you say the main reasons were for the Grapevines losing that win?
Well, we've got a standard called the plan to win that I've been around since 2010. A guy named Willie Fritz, who's now the head coach at Tulane University. I worked for him at Sam Houston State, and that's where I first got introduced to the plan to win. And it's really infallible. It's amazing how accurate it is as far as if you are successful at meeting these criteria, these goals, your chances of winning go up exponentially. And the plan to win consists of owning the ball, controlling the line of scrimmage, being special in the special teams. The Mustangs don't beat the Mustangs, and win the fourth quarter. And the fact of the matter was, if we were honest with each other, we only won one of those 5 areas, and that was controlling the line of scrimmage, which we did for the second week in a row. But we fell short in all the other areas, and I thought we played 3 really good quarters, and I was sick about the third quarter. I was sick about how we played. I was sick about how we conducted ourselves. We let it become a game in the third quarter, and couldn't finish it in the fourth.
Can you talk us through that game-ending kick there?
Yeah, it's crazy, and I've got it on the highlights here. We had a kick earlier in the game that was about as perfect can be as far as execution was concerned, about from the same spot on the field, and it was precision, and we weren't quite as precise the second time. The standard operating time is from snap to kick is 1.25 seconds. And obviously, for anybody that was there, we had some issues that took a little bit longer, and consequently, our kicker got his footwork messed up, and the rest is history. So, it was a shocker. We snatched, defeat from the jaws of victory, I guess. If you look at it that way, because the offense had done everything that you could do to put us in a position to win. The clock management was textbook. Did everything we wanted to do except close it out. So, it is what it is. And I want to say one thing. I thought it was important after the game. High school football is different than college football in that there's not a great way for closure, whether you win or whether you lose, because you talk to the team on the field, you got the band playing, you got the people running around, you got people moving towards you to grab the kids and talk to them. So you really can't get their attention. And then by the time you get in the locker room, everybody's coming in at different times, and there's no continuity. There's no time to really get everybody together. I thought it was very, very important at that moment, sitting there 0-2, the way we just became 0-2, to take that team to the locker room and let my voice be the first voice that they heard. I didn't want them to hear any mixed messages. I didn't want them to hear it was okay. I didn't want them to hear anything other than, let's be honest about what just happened. And our record doesn't define us, but our record is what it is. And we better accept that. And, obviously there's a lot of things we got to get better at, starting with me. But I was really pleased with the maturity that the guys handled it with. That carried over to Saturday morning in our workout and our video session, and it carried over to this morning. So I expect we'll go out and play a good ball game Friday night.
I expect that you do too. I would like to go ahead and ask Major Heck to come up and join me to ask a few questions. Nice to see you again, Major. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Another week up here. I'm good, by the way. Thank you for asking. Another week up here. How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel good.
Good. Well, I wanted to ask, I heard that you said that off the field you're very in the books, focused on your studies. How do you create a balance between academics and athletics?
Wherever you're at the time, you gotta, lock in and focus at that. When you're at school, gotta focus on school, and when you're on the field practicing, gotta focus on, the sport you're playing.
That's awesome. I'm sure it's kind of difficult at times, though, especially during football season.
Definitely, yeah.
And what were some of your personal highlights from Friday's game?
Personal highlights. One of my favorite ones was watching Ryan Hamilton finally catch the ball and score a touchdown off of it. I mean, it was really great to watch. It was a mudita moment. He got into the end zone. He was screaming. He loves the picture that he got of it. But yeah, that was awesome. And then, I love hitting the quarterback, so.
I saw that. That was amazing to watch. And why do you think you earned the Fight Award this week?
I think I just, never gave up. I put my body on the line. I gave it my all the entire game, and, that's what I try to do every week, so.
Well, you did a great job. Thank you so much for joining me. I'd like Ryan Hamilton to come up and join me now, please. Hi, Ryan.
Hi,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
What do you want to say about what Major just said? Any comeback?
It was nice to have a game where Major didn't miss any tackles, but.
Good one. So, how was your second game of the season with this being your first year on varsity?
I think it was great to see all the work I put in over the offseason finally come to fruition and show up on the field. Yeah.
That's awesome. And you intercepted a pass and returned it for a touchdown on Friday. What was that celebration like? I didn't get to see that picture that Major talked about, but just describe that feeling for me.
I mean, I feel like I almost felt prepared for it, because when you make that play in practice, you drop it a few times in practice, but when you make that play, it's just like practice playing on the field. You're just in the zone.
You practice what you preach, basically.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It was a great touchdown. Congratulations on that. And why do you think you earned the Discipline Award this week?
I think it goes back to, like I was talking about, just that putting in that work over the offseason, putting that work in practice. I feel like I stick to that. I'm disciplined in how hard I work in practice in the offseason, yeah.
Well, I think it was definitely shown on the field, and congratulations for earning that award. Thank you so much for joining me. I'd like to ask Demontrez Dunn to join me now, please. Another return this week. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. So last week I asked you about filling Parker Polk's shoes, and I think you're doing a phenomenal job so far, by the way. Yes. And, I mean, you would agree, right?
I try my best.
You try your best. That's awesome. And you rushed for 156 yards on Friday. That's quite impressive. Tell me how you would assess your performance against Azel as a Mustang running back.
Just tackle practice every day.
That's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah. So what does football honestly mean to you, just personally?
Just a happy place.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think about much on the field except football. It's just a fun place.
You like your teammates? You love being with them? Do y'all
teammates.
think you played well on Friday together?
Yeah, but I think if we played better, we would have won.
Right. I think we would all agree with that. Why do you think you earned the Attitude Award this week?
Just want to know mentality. Just always uplifting myself, always uplifting the guys. Not just being mature about everything.
Well, I'm glad you earned it, and congratulations again. You did great on Friday. Congratulations. Thank you for joining me.
Yes, ma'am.
And I would next like to ask Hunter Cottle to join me, please. Hi, Hunter.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
So you're a sophomore.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, only second year high school, and it's your return year on varsity team. How does that feel?
Feels great, honestly, coming back, being able to bring up the other alignments since they're some were on varsity last year as backups, but being able to bring them along.
That's
with me.
awesome. So let's see. Last year you were right guard, and this season you're right tackle. How has that transition been for you so far?
It's a lot more space playing out in the open field, so just got to come at practice and take the coaching in well.
Of course. And what are some improvements you think you've made since your freshman year of high school on the team?
Playing faster, and I'm just trying to take the leadership role right now, grow into that right now. I'm struggling with that, so work on that every day.
That's great. And why do you think you earned the family award this week?
Because I was helping the O-line throughout the game, trying to keep them level-headed, because Azel wasn't the most calm team out there.
I could tell.
Yeah, we had to break up a few fights, but other than that,
Really?
yeah.
I didn't think I saw that part.
Alex almost got into it with the linebacker. Had to break that up. Yeah.
Ooh. Well, I'm glad you stayed positive at least,
Yeah.
and you did a great job on Friday, so
Thank you.
congratulations. Thank you so
you.
much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I'd like to ask Cooper Towery to join me, please. Hello, Cooper. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Another sophomore joining me.
Yes, ma'am.
How's it feel being on the varsity team in your sophomore year?
It's fun so far.
Fun so far?
Yes, ma'am.
A lot to look forward to?
Yes.
Good. So Friday's game was your first game as a starter. What emotions were you facing before the game?
I was nervous, but as you know, once you get on the field and you start playing, then usually that just goes away. And yeah,
So majority excited.
yeah.
And think you did well?
I thought I did pretty well.
Mhm.
Everyone makes mistakes. I had a few that cost some things, but we learn from it in practice and improve.
That's great. You seem very positive, so that's good. I heard you practiced as a running back this summer, but the coach decided to move you to make you a linebacker just a few weeks ago. How has that transition been so far?
Me and Coach DeBesse had a meeting, and he said it would affect the team in a positive way. And you go with what they say, trusting them, and yeah, it's helped so far.
Do you think it has gone in a positive way so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Well, I look forward to seeing you this season. Thank you so much. Oh, I wanted to ask also, why do you think you earned the Compete Award this week?
Because you got on, I went out on the field and gave 110% and left everything out there.
That's great. Well, congratulations.
ma'am.
Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
me. Last but not least, Connor Bell. Good to see you again, Connor.
Good to see you too.
You did great Friday. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you think, how do you think y'all played as a team on Friday?
Honestly, not very good.
Really?
Yeah, I thought we could have done a lot of things a lot better. There were a lot of bright spots, but like Coach DeBesse said, I don't think we deserved to win that game, quite frankly.
Well, I saw you were really like the one they were relying on in the fourth quarter. I mean, what were the emotions going through your head and just knowing how close the game was and whatnot?
I mean, it was definitely a lot of excitement. I was definitely nervous because whenever you're down going into your last drive, there's a lot of pressure on you. So definitely a lot of nervousness, but definitely excitement.
Well, you rushed 117 yards, so rush for 117 yards. That's definitely something positive to think about. Tell me how you would assess your performance against Azel as a Mustang running back.
I thought I ran the ball well, but I think there's definitely a lot of things I need to improve on. Like I did have a fumble. Luckily, it didn't cost us too much, but it could have.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to improve on my blocking and a lot of other stuff.
Practice makes perfect, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And why do you think you earned the Tough Award this week?
Probably just competing and fighting until the fourth quarter, like you said, trying to put us in a position to win, and just doing all I can do.
That's great. I think you did a great job. Congratulations again, and thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Coach?
Yeah, they're it's a great mix of personalities. What you just saw is them too. I mean, that wasn't an act. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they were humble and honest. And let me say something about Hunter. You know, Hunter started as a true freshman in 5A football last year, which is unheard of in the offensive line. And all of a sudden he looks up and he's the only guy returning. The other 4 guys are gone. And so he was a freshman with 4 seniors. And not only have we asked him to move to another position, actually he started off as a center, moving from guard to center, now to right tackle. So not only we asked him to move positions, but we're asking him as a sophomore to be the leader in the offensive line, okay? And that's not an easy thing to do. So he's had to grow up a little faster than maybe he's ready to, but he's done a great job of embracing that role. He really has. But I'm proud of all 6 of those dudes there. They're awesome kids.
Well, I look forward to seeing them in these highlights you're about to show us.
Yes, but let me share one more thing, okay? I just want to give these guys a shout out. We're going to recognize Scout Team Players of the Week every week. You know, these guys are JV guys that you don't hear about a lot, play on Thursday nights, sometimes at 5:30, in front of sparse crowds often. And the main role that they play during the week, other than obviously competing to win, is they're the look teams for the offense and defense to help them get ready to play on Friday night. And it's a thankless job, but it's one that everybody grows from if they go through it. And we had 2 kids this week that stood out, and I just want to recognize them. Defensively, going against our offense, was defensive end Adam Burns. And offensively, going against our defense, was quarterback Jalen Holmes. So both of those guys did a great job. It is highlight time. Is that what you're telling me?
It is highlight time.
All right, y'all going to have to bear with me. I think we're going to be all right. Got it? All right. All right, so this is actually the very first play of the game, and this is Connor, okay, on a inside zone. I just talked about Hunter and the offensive line. Our offensive line is tremendously inexperienced, but they've actually done a pretty decent job over the first couple of weeks. In the open field, we got to get a lot better in the red zone, man. We got to get a lot better in the red zone. We got to get a lot better down there close to the goal line. Right now, we're not scoring enough points offensively to win games. We're giving up 14 points a game defensively, which is outstanding. That's a great job of Connor right there, pressing the line of scrimmage. Right, that's a great job of Connor trusting his line right there and getting into the open field. Good job of Will Matheny doing a good job blocking down the field. Okay, all right. So that was kind of a highlight of the first series. We didn't really do anything early on. This is just a microcosm. I could have put 15 clips on like this as far as our defensive line and dominating the line of scrimmage. And again, what I want you to watch, I asked you to watch the guys in the red shirts last week, but watch the guys in the white shirts here, okay, and how many of them are around the line of scrimmage right there, okay. I'll go to the end zone. You can see Cooper, Devin Thomas, there's Leighton coming in there, Bradley Stanier in there. Here comes Major in there, right there. Okay, so that's a great job of just playing team defense right there. Okay, there's Maddox Stanley, number 37, pushing that guy over the pile. I thought we played really, really hard defensively all night long. We made some critical errors in the third quarter that allowed them to to get back in the game, I guess I should say. Okay, boom, here's Major coming off the edge. I think he had at least 2 of these, right? Okay, may have had a third. Amazing. What's amazing about that is he completes the dang throw. Okay, but it amounted to a missed field goal. Okay, on 4th down, here comes Major coming off the edge again. Okay, so that's hard. That's hard for defenses, right? To have a speedy guy coming off the edge. All right, let me point out a guy here. Watch number 11 right here. Okay. This is Tatum Evans right here, okay? So Major gets the oohs and the ahs from the stands, but see how Tatum's doing his job by taking the inside gap right there, closing the gap right there, shortening the edge so Major can get there, okay? That's part of the design of the defense, and that's good team defense right there. That's a great hit. And that's kind of what Major is, right? I mean, Major's the most beat-up guy there is in the locker room after the game. Okay, here's a little triple option play right here. Okay, bringing Colby Eckert back into the backfield. Okay, good read by Hack. Again, good job by Dunn. Trusting, bouncing it out the front side. We do some things a little bit different from a blocking standpoint on the inside zone, which allows us to hit the play to the play side. Okay, and by that I mean if you watch our line, they're going to the right, but our backfield's going to the left, and that's why it's called zone read option. Okay, so that's a little bit confusing for the defense. Watch how many ways the defenders are moving. Watch number 30 there. Watch the free safety. He has no idea where the ball is. Okay, and that's why these backs have to trust their line and they have to push it front side. Okay, to make sure that we make the defense defend the entire field. All right, so here's a great shot, and again, I said it's about at the same spot. We're a little bit further to the right. It doesn't get any better than that as far as operation, right? Great snap, great hold. Kicks down, 1.25 is the goal. That's going to be really close right there, okay? So that's a great job, and I show that for a reason, okay? And the reason is it just speaks to the consistency that we've got to find, okay? Here comes Ryan's big play right here. They try to throw a bubble screen out here to the wide side of the field. That's a long throw for a quarterback, okay? And what Ryan does a great job is deciphering the play, running through the block, beating the block, making a play, and then looking like a running back, dragging this guy into the end zone. So that's a great thrill. And I want you to watch the whole defense right here. This is a Mudita moment right here, celebrating somebody else's success, and you love to see that. You look at the sideline over there celebrating too. That's a great feeling. Okay. Whoops. Your chances of winning again go up exponentially when you do something like this. Okay. But that's where our offense has got to pick up their game. And we've got to get the ball in the end zone somehow, some way. And we're just not doing that right now, okay? And here's another sack right here. Boom, okay? Again, same guy. About the same kind of hit. I think that quarterback knows it's fixing to happen, too. Watch him. Boom! Okay, does a good job of holding on to it, okay? Same thing, okay, the front collapses. We really should have 99, should be in the A gap right there, okay? He should be in the A gap, closing it a little bit more, but that's a great job of coming off the edge with reckless abandon and being physical. Good job, Major. All right, we got to get one of these. Watch this. Watch this. We've got a special period tomorrow. We work this. But we've got a special period tomorrow in practice devoted to blocking kicks. I want you to watch how close we are to blocking this kick right here, but I'm going to show you the mistake we make, okay? And this is a typical mistake. This is a typical mistake of players who are going to block kicks, okay? You dive for the ball, okay? You dive for the ball instead of running through, keeping your feet and running through and taking the ball off the kicker's foot, okay? So you can see right there, if we just continue to run and we don't dive, because as soon as we start diving, we slow ourselves up, okay? But that's a block right there. That's got to be a block right there. Got to be a block right there, okay? So we'll start getting those. All right, big power run here, okay? by DeMontrez. Okay, right here, there's going to be a time this year when right there we split them. See that? See that right there? See that crease right there between that safety and that linebacker right there? There's going to be a time this year as we get more comfortable and we get more experienced that we're going to split that guy. We're going to split those guys right there. We're going to go score. We're going to split those guys right there. We're going to go score. Good gain. Don't get me wrong. Good gain. It's really hard to drive the ball in offensive football. Defenses want they would rather have offenses drive the football and then obviously give up big plays because it's hard to drive the football without making a mistake. Okay? It's hard to put 10, 11, 12 play drives together without making a mistake. Okay? So you got to have some plays in there where you have some explosives that result in touchdowns. Okay? All right, another rush. This is a read play. This is a read play by their quarterback. They played 2 quarterbacks. 12 was the bigger one, maybe more of the thrower. 8 was the runner. See, our defense is all over that. Okay, that's a read play by them. Quarterback decides to pull it. Okay, and then we've got guys there. It doesn't matter where he went. He had absolutely no place to go. Absolutely no place to go. So good team defense. But again, watch the disruptiveness of the defensive line. Okay, that's been a big key over the first 2 games as far as us playing really, really good defense. Okay. All right, scramble. Remember last week we had a really, really hard time on scrambles. Okay, watch the result this week. Okay, we're much more disciplined as far as our eyes are concerned. Okay, we're staying around the receivers more, and that's a big play by Bryson Davis right there, coming up with the interception and stopping a drive. Again, this is all first half, so we went into the halftime, if I'm not mistaken, leading 13-0. Okay, which means nothing, right? It means nothing because it's a 60-minute game, but we played a pretty good first half, pretty solid first half, particularly defensively. This was a problem all night long, right? This is third and 9. Trying to keep the drive alive. Got to make a play, right? Got to make a play. I think we had 4 drops on the night. Okay? So, at some point we got to make plays. That keeps the drive alive right there, and who knows what happens, okay? One thing we can't do offensively right now because we're just not in sync. We can't get behind the chains, which we did way too much the other night. Behind the chains means first down, you don't get much, and all of a sudden now it's 2nd and long, and the defense dictates, what's happening right there. Okay, another sack by a familiar face. Okay, this time he doesn't come unblocked. Okay, that big old tackle right there just can't get out of his stance fast enough to block him. Okay, big sack. Great job again by Major. Okay. This was unbelievable, man. I mean, this is incredible. Okay, I mean, this really is. This 4th and 2, they're playing football in the phone booth right there. Look at all those people. Look at all those green shirts in there, and I'll show you. Okay, watch 40. Look, see how 40's in a 3-point stance right there. 40 is right over the right guard, if I'm not mistaken. You can see the center snapping the ball to 30. So that's a massive humanity in there. Okay, and it's 4th and 2, and the absolute smallest guy on the field makes the biggest play. Okay, that's Bryson Davis stepping up, boom, okay, and stopping him just short of the first down, okay? That could have been a huge momentum swing right there had Azel gone in and scored, okay, but we kept him out of the end zone by stopping him on 4th and 2. Okay, Major again setting the edge, boom, right there with a big hit. Okay, that's a heck of a job by our defense. As I said, our defense has played lights out for 2 weeks in a row. Okay. Okay, good team defense right here. It's kind of a speed option type play. It's kind of a non-traditional speed option type play. Okay, Major again setting the edge. Okay, almost gets out leveraged, but fights his tail off to make a play. You see Leighton Towery, you see Bryson Davis, you see Devin Thomas, all those guys pursuing, okay? Great job on 1st and 15 to make it 2nd and long. All right, big run. Let's see, this is the third quarter. This is the third quarter, the way we're going. This is the third quarter, okay? Couldn't really get anything going in the third quarter offensively, which was unfortunate. This was one of the biggest plays that we had, okay? And you can see there's going to be a time, there's going to be a time as we get more comfortable and we're hitting things a little bit quicker. There's going to be a time we split those guys, and all of a sudden that'll go from a 22-yard gain to a 42-yard gain. But that's a well-blocked play and a good run by Connor. Oops, sorry. All right. Speed option, which we didn't run a whole lot of, but we did run some speed option. We did run some option the other night against the Hornets, and this is a well-executed, well-blocked play, okay? We're actually pulling the guard here, so that's Bergen Weir coming around there, actually getting all the way to the backside safety, our right guard right here, going all the way to block 30 right here, okay? That's a heck of a job by him. Connor's out in front blocking. Good job of Hack taking it to his pitch key, okay, and DeMontrez being in pitch phase. Okay, we're now into the fourth quarter, and I think it's 14-13 right now, if I'm not mistaken. Okay? All right. Now, Connor, by his own admission, said that he needs to get better at blocking, which you could say that for a lot of people. Football is a game of inches, and football is a game of leverage. I said that last week. All right, I'm going to freeze it. I'm going to freeze it right here. Okay, I'm going to freeze it right here. Doesn't that look pretty good for the Mustangs right there? See all that white, see all that grass, see all that space with those safeties split right there? All right, the guy that makes the play is the guy that instead of getting inside leverage on, we got outside leverage. Everybody see that defensive end right there? So our head's supposed to be inside. Our head's supposed to be inside so he can't fall back inside and make a play on that running back. And that's how close we are, okay? That's how close we are. Okay, and that's why I told the players afterwards, you know, you got to be worthy of success. You got to be worthy of success, okay? And being worthy of success is just playing a little bit more consistent than what we have played for an entire ball game, okay? All right, I'm going to skip this. All right, so this was about as unlikely a play as there was all night long. We were struggling offensively. We weren't getting much going. We were sputtering. All of a sudden, we find ourselves 3rd and 21 on what looked like was going to be our last drive. And sure enough, we convert with a great throw by Hack and a great catch by Will Matheny on 3rd and 21 to keep the drive alive. Okay? So great protection, great throw and catch. Here you see what Hack sees right here from this angle. Okay, great protection by our O-line. Can't throw it any better than that. That's a hell of a job right there. Okay, and so now the Mustangs are in a position to possibly make something exciting happen at the end of the game. So we run a power play, and this play kind of solidifies the fact that, okay, now not only can we think about scoring a touchdown and winning the game, but we can run clock now. We can run clock now. They had 3 timeouts left, and we knew that we were in a position now to make them use their timeouts and either score a touchdown or take it down as far as we could and kick the winning field goal. Okay, so there goes Connor again. And Connor's kind of playing on a little bit of a bum ankle, okay? So he's showing a lot of courage here and a lot of toughness right here late in the fourth quarter after having a lot of carries. Puts us in a position to possibly get it done. But here it is, okay? So there's no need to hide it. Remember the precision that we had on the first one. Little bit high, just a little bit high, and that's all it takes. Just a little bit high, a little bit of a bobble with the with the hold. So a little bit high, a little bobble with the hold. Okay, our kicker's footwork, see how he gets a little messed up right there? And then we get the big time hook. Okay, so protection-wise, it was good, but it comes down to the operation. One time we did it perfect. This time we had a little bit of struggle, and the rest is history. So it is what it is, and you go back to practice, and you just keep working on it and believe that good things are going to happen, and they will. All right, those are our highlights.
Thank you for showing that to us, Coach. Yes, round of applause. So, what improvements did you see between week 1 against Wakeland and week 2 against Azle?
I think we started, I thought we started the game faster on both sides. I thought our offense, it really doesn't matter offensively. Like, time of possession means nothing if you're not scoring. That's a way overrated stat if you're not scoring. But I do think that the offense did a good job of controlling the football. We only played 61 snaps. 57 snaps on defense. And the best defense you got is when their offense is standing on the sideline, right? And so I thought we did a really good job there. I thought we played, like I said, the long ball and the scramble much better than we did the first ball game. So there were things that stood out, but overall, when you say you're not worthy of success, that's not a criticism. It's just reality. You got to look at things for what they are. And you have to be worthy of success. You have to do enough things to be right in order to be successful, in order to come out on top. That's not just athletics, that's life. And so we didn't do enough, but the best thing we're doing right now is coming back with a great attitude and continuing to try to improve, and that's where it's at.
When I spoke to you at halftime, you kind of called it and said that Azle was going to come back and that it was going to be a dogfight. What was the difference between the first half and the second half of the defensive side of the ball?
Well, what I said was to you, and what I told the team was, prepare for this to come down to the last play. Prepare for this to be an overtime game. That's the mindset we had to have going into the game. I mean, those are two evenly matched teams right there. Those are two 0-1 teams right there fighting and clawing and scratching to get their first victory. And that's what I told the team in the second half, too. Again, I don't, not to take anything away from Azle, but we got to quit beating ourselves. I mean, we got to quit making mistakes that allow drives to be sustained. We got to quit making mistakes that cause drives to be stopped, and just play a little more consistent in all three phases. I mean, this is not as hard. This is not as complicated a game as we try to make it sometimes. It's pretty simple when you look at where the challenges and where the issues are. And once again, I'll say, like I told the kids, and like I started this show, it starts right here. Okay, it starts here, and that's the first thing I told them Saturday morning, guys. This ain't about the players. Okay, when teams win, players get the credit. When teams lose, coaches take responsibility, and coaches step up, and we're analyzing and scrutinizing and trying to find, the best way, continue to try to find the best way to reach our players to get them to play with a little more consistency, and when we all get on the same page, it's going to be a lot of fun. But, there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of still guys that are a little bit wet behind the ears that we just got to bring along.
Well, thank you, Coach, and thank you for showing us those highlights. I would like to ask Coach Wallace to please join me now. And do the five of y'all want to come up here with her, just like stand next to her?
Thank you, sir.
Wherever you feel comfortable.
Come sit by me. I think you're too tall. You're going to be out of frame.
Okay.
Look, there's some job for you.
Hi, Coach Wallace. How
Hi.
are you?
We're great. How are you?
Do you mind introducing the players with you tonight?
No, absolutely. I have 3 seniors and 1 sophomore with me today. I have Ella Manning, senior, Ella Larson, senior, Ava Schenkel, senior, and then I have Jordan Valentine. Sorry, she just moved here. Sophomore. So.
And thank you for being here tonight, first of all. So how did the tournaments in Orlando go this past weekend?
Really good. We're starting to play at a higher level, and that's exciting for us. We have a really hard preseason every year. I schedule every ranked team in the Metroplex, and we line up and we play every ranked 6A team. As a matter of fact, in Orlando, on the final day, it was 4 Texas teams in the final, and they were all ranked opponents. So it was really good for us to be in the mix with them, and I know that we're putting it together day by day, and it's going to be a really exciting finish to the season. It's a really hard start to the season, but it'll be a really exciting finish.
Well, how proud are you that Ava right here recently committed to Ohio State next year?
Go Buckeyes, right? Yeah, there we go. I was going to say, come on, Ava, that's you. So exciting. I know that for Ava, the process was really hard. It's really hard when you're looking to commit. You got to make sure it's the right mix, the right fit of players and coaches. And I know that it's hard because in the volleyball world, if you're pretty much not committed by the beginning of your junior year, it makes it harder, right? And there's a lot of pressure. And I think that, for Ava to commit and to be excited about the coaching staff and about the girls and about the environment at Ohio State is a really big deal. Ava, do you have anything to add to that?
I'm really excited to get there, and I think that I'm really excited for this season first and to see what's in store for that, and then focus on my college when I get there.
Absolutely.
Well, congratulations again. That's amazing. You're in one of the toughest districts in the region. How prepared is your team for your opening district game this Friday?
Well, we open against Colleyville on Friday night, and they're ranked number 2 in the state right now. They're loaded. They're a good team. I think for us, knowing that, and this has been our philosophy for as long as I've been here, everybody's always seeking district championships, and we're just not. That's not something that's on my radar. I really don't care about that. I don't know how many wins I have as a coach because it doesn't matter at the end of the day. The season is disconnected from the rest of them. But for us to come out, and we have a goal. What's the goal? Regionals. We want to make it to the regional tournament. And in order to do that, we just really need to be in the top 4 and to get into the bracket and to see what that comes out like. And always, every season, we want to finish the season playing our best volleyball, whatever that looks like. And I know that the first year we went to state, we finished playing our best volleyball, and the next year we played a state final match, and it was our best volleyball. And then we fell short last season, and it was not our best volleyball, but it was because Ava broke her ankle in the second round, and that was really hard for us. So for this group of seniors to come back this year, knowing that they didn't get to finish their season last year playing at the peak level that they're able to, they really have a lot to prove. And I think we called this group at the beginning of the season the Sleepers. I think that they're going to really surprise people, and I think a lot of teams look at our record, which I don't know what it is, so don't ask me.
Okay.
I just know that there's a lot of little losses on there. But I think that teams look at that and they think that we maybe aren't prepared or we're not very good, but it couldn't be further from the truth. We've just played everyone that reveals the cracks in the foundation early. We want to know what to fix, and we want to know before we get to district. So.
Well, is the ankle all better now for this season?
Yeah, it's ready to go. I'm ready.
Perfect. You're excited?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing you this season. Thank y'all so much for joining me today.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for having us out.
So, Coach, what do you think needs to be worked on before the matchup this weekend with Argyle?
I'm gonna go with what I told the guys this morning before practice in the locker room, before we got on the scouting report. And what needs to be worked on is just staying in the moment. Just staying in the present. And everybody knows the acronym WIN, what's important now. And so what we're asking them to do is just narrow their focus to what's important now. We know who we're playing this week. We know the type of program and the proud tradition that they have. We know it's a road game. All that really doesn't matter a whole lot on Monday or Tuesday, or the only thing that matters is staying in the moment and staying in the present. So that's what we need to continue to work on and focus on. If we do that, we'll have good practices. We'll retain from day to day as far as our practices are concerned, and we'll be ready to go on Friday.
Are there going to be any major adjustments from this past Friday to this Friday? Or
Hopefully I'll be better.
Well, thank you so much. And we look forward to watching y'all this Friday. And supporting y'all.
Thank y'all for it's Labor Day, right? It's a holiday, so thank everybody. Appreciate everybody coming out. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all so much. And I would like to end with one more question.
Okay.
What is your favorite movie?
Ooh, that's a hard one, man. At my age, I've seen a lot of movies.
Do you want me to narrow it down to a certain genre?
I'm gonna have to go. This is gonna shock y'all. My favorite movie of all time is The Wizard of Oz.
Really? That's a really good. That was my childhood favorite one.
I still cry when Dorothy tells the Scarecrow, "I'm gonna miss you most of all." I still get teared up.
You're right. I was definitely shocked to hear you say that, but I will say that was one of my childhood favorite movies. I will say. Well, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Thank you to Meet You Anywhere for having us. And again, yes, thank you so much for taking the time out of your Labor Day to be here. I am your host, Carly Isbell. I'd like to also thank Davis Burke and Chris Wymore, our production team, and the Grapevine Mustang Football Booster Club. We will see y'all next week. Thank you so much.